Welcome to the your simulation part of lab number 6, which is on operational amplifier. We will start with placing our components. First one is definitely our op-amp 741 IC, and as I showed you in theory, accordingly आपकी IC जो है वो पिन नंबर्स होंगे जिस तरह आपके एक्चुअल में आपकी IC पे होते हैं, राइट? सो लेट्स मूव टुवर्ड योर बेसिक्स which अच्छा, all we are going to do is because we are observing your जो आपका op amp है, if a minor signal is applied to it which is an AC signal, तो आपका gain किस तरह change होता है, right? Because now it's an open loop amplifier, right? So we will be taking a set of, let's take and ground. अच्छा, because I will be taking 2 to 3 grounds because mostly ये होता है कि आपको wiring jumble up हो जाती है and you just don't get a clear image of what is actually happening, right? So I would be using a function generator to give a minor small signal. अच्छा, this is my positive terminal, non-inverting, inverting side. यहाँ पे आप अपनी देते हैं, just check it out and match it so you just don't get confused. Your pin number 7 is your positive supply, right? So this is your positive and this is your negative supply. Let's place your VCC for your positive and negative supply, right? So I guess this is enough. अच्छा, this जो आपका resistor है ये मैं actually connect करूँगी on your output side, right? And I'm using it as a kind of load, ठीक है? If you want to, your choice, right? But I will be giving a minor signal on one of my inputs and there's no concept of feedback so far. So let's just connect it into your terminal number 3 and connect the other end with your ground. Similarly आपने इसको भी connect करना है with your ground, right? So अच्छा, frequency को आप keep it in kilohertz. We are actually increasing our frequency a lot but keeping our amplitude very less. Keep it 25, let's say, right? Sine wave signal. And finally हम इसको observe करेंगे on an oscilloscope and do make a connection here and ground it, right? Okay, ये आपका जाएगा with your 4 and this is with your 7. अच्छा, mostly when you are reading your theories वहाँ पे आपकी ये supplies mention नहीं होती, but these are used mostly. It's a 15 and it's a minus 15. अच्छा, now I have completed my setting. Just मैं इसको यहाँ से and with my ground, and because I want to observe my input as well, so connecting it with my input, that's extra, so let's just delete it. And this is with my again ground. So let's just start it. Okay, if you can see, it's in 14 volts, right? It means कि आपका minor voltage पे ये आपका saturation पे जा चुका है. Channel B is your input signal which was 25 millivolts. So okay, Now I'm having a bit of my observation, but I cannot keep it. ठीक है, so you can see input signal आपका क्या था? Okay, my input is actually an AC signal, right? But जो output आपका आ रहा है, that's a that's basically a DC version, which is, if you can see, it's a 14 volts जो कि almost saturation पे है. Let's just bring it down to 10 and see आपका changes क्या आती हैं. I am now dropping my voltage to 10 millivolts. Now you can see कि जितनी भी पॉसिबल चेंजेस हो रही हैं, स्टिल आपका जो आउटपुट जा रहा है, इट्स इन सैचुरेशन, राइट? जो भी आपकी वोल्टेजेस आ रही हैं, योर आउटपुट इज इन continuously going in saturation. uh, let's see if I drop my frequency. It's a 5 kilohertz. Now in this scenario, if you can see, still आपका saturation में ही जा रहा है, but channel B is also, let's just drop it to, no, I'm just dropping it more, bringing it towards milliseconds. Still, if you can observe, आपका signal, it's still almost more than half clip आपका जा रहा है, because it's in again आपका जो clipping का effect आ रहा है ना, आपका distortion हो रही है, because ये आपका DC जो आपका amplifier है, it's basically clipping off. ठीक है, जो आपकी wave form है, first of all observe कि आपकी 13.878, ठीक है, near to your saturation, and जो आपकी दूसरी voltage है वो आपकी जा रही है approximately 4.67. You can stop it at any time and just roughly estimate. ये आपकी 2 blocks बन रहे हैं, so 2 blocks multiply by 5, which is 10 divided by 2, so it's a roughly 5 millivolts. ठीक है, and it's showing you 4.67. so yes, आप इससे कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं. सिमिलरली यहाँ पे अगर आप कैलकुलेट करें, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल ये हमारा जो स्केल है, इट गोज़ आउट ऑफ स्केल. ठीक है, सो जस्ट टेक दिस स्पेसिफाइड वैल्यू. अगर हम इसको मोर इंक्रीज करना चाहें तो ये आपका आउट ऑफ रेंज चला जाता है. सो लेट्स जस्ट ड्रॉप इट डाउन टू, व्हाट कैन आई यूज? No. Okay, now it's a bit near. अच्छा, यहाँ से you can take a rough estimate of your gain, right? ड्रॉप किसी भी पॉइंट पे जस्ट स्टिल आपका जो, इफ़ यू कैन ऑब्जर्व, आपका जो गेन जा रहा है, नाउ योर फ्रीक्वेंसी इज़ 50 हर्ट 5K and your amplitude is 25 millivolts. Now previously मैंने किलोज में अप्लाई की थी, so as I said to you, there's a relationship between your gain and bandwidth. ठीक है, up to a specific bandwidth आपका जो एलिमेंट ऑफ गेन था, ठीक है, माई जो फ्रीक्वेंसी थी, दैट वाज that was approximately 1 mega 5 बल्कि 5 mega, right? So वहाँ पे आपका completely आपका DC signal आ रहा था on your output side, right? So there is a relationship between your frequency and your gain, right? Okay, when I brought my frequency to 5 kilohertz, right, and amplitude is your 25 volts peak, still आपका signal clip जा रहा है. And yes, no matter how much you vary your amplitude range, still आपको कुछ ना कुछ clipping element मिलेगा. But yes, you can use it to get a rough estimate of your voltages. यहाँ से you can calculate it's a 1 2 3 and 4 plus an additional here and here, so it's approximately 5 blocks, right? So 5 into 10 divided by 2, 50 divided by 2, so roughly आपकी 25 बन रहे हैं millivolts, right? For your channel number, right, for your channel B, and जो आपका channel A है, it's roughly you can say it's a 2 block. So 2 5s are आपका 10 बनता है, by 2 5 approximately आपका, if you go for rough estimations, ठीक है? So you can just write a value of 10 here, right? ठीक है, 5 volts per division आपके जा रहे हैं. So and accordingly आप blocks लेंगे. It's a 5 and it's a 5, so yes, 5 volts per division into 2 blocks roughly. So आपकी तकरीबन 5 volts बनेंगे, right? So रफली आप कैलकुलेट कर लें, एंड यहाँ पे आपका मिली वोल्ट्स में जा रहा है, सो डेफिनेटली आपका गेन क्या आएगा? सो वोल्टेज डिवाइडेड बाय मिली वोल्ट्स, राइट? जो भी आपकी वोल्टेज आती है, फॉर एग्जांपल इफ इट्स 5 डिवाइडेड बाय, फॉर एग्जांपल लेट्स से 5 मिली वोल्ट्स, सो it's approximately a gain of 10 k, right? 10 um, or 2 10 divided by 5, so it's 200, right? 02k approximately आपका gain बन रहा है. So go for rough estimations, because accurately आपका in multisim you can just first of all आपका op amp, it just goes into your saturation phase, right? So cover this area of V input and V output and your roughly open loop gain जो आपको for according to your rough calculation जो आपका gain बन रहा है, you can use it here, right? Let's move toward the second part, in which we will be calculating the input offset current and input offset voltages. Now offset voltage is the thing जो आप calculate नहीं कर सकेंगे, but yes, a procedure would be shown to you जब आप actual में करेंगे. So what is the procedure which is actually adopted, right? So let's just move toward the second part of your software simulation of your lab number 6.